This is Steve, and I'm here with Maye Johnson, who is running for Allen County Council, District 1 seat again. She's running for re-election. She's on the Democratic ticket. Maye, I really appreciate your time today.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yep, so am I. I've been looking forward to it.
Never miss an opportunity to talk to the good people in Fort Wayne and Allen County.
Well, good. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, for those of us who may not know you that well?
I've been back in Fort Wayne for about 14 years. This was my home. I was raised here. I wasn't born here. My family came here from the hills of Kentucky and Tennessee to work in the plants in this industrial complex. At one time, almost every member of my family was employed by International Harvester. People came here, we worked, saved money, bought homes, became property owners. So we're part of a proud tradition of people who have helped to shape this community. Mm-hmm. I got involved in politics, quite frankly, the first time in another life in Cincinnati, Ohio, where I was a member of the Cincinnati chapter of the Ohio Black Political Assembly, which was basically a grassroots organization that really came about to ensure the participation of minorities in local government, local and state government, and we were quite successful at the time. After working for 20 years as Director of Public Affairs for Taft Broadcasting Company, WKRC-TV, which really put me in touch with a lot of people within that viewing area. My job was really the liaison from the station to the community, and I had an ongoing responsibility of ascertaining or interviewing people in terms of what their problems, needs, concerns were, and then to come back to the station and produce public affairs programming. But it gave me some insights on how to work and how to communicate with people across the board. Since coming back to Fort Wayne, and I was retired at the time, I retired after 20 years of service to Taft Broadcasting Company, I came back here to really care for my mother who was ill. At the time, the East Central neighborhood, and I still live in the East Central neighborhood, was involved with a redevelopment project with the city of Fort Wayne and the Redevelopment Commission. There were some miscommunications, is how we refer to it. And we found out that there was a plan to acquire large parcels of the East Central neighborhood through the government process of eminent domain. And of course we fought that, and as a result of that went to work with the city, with the Graham administration, to start working on a redevelopment and a revitalization plan for the neighborhood, because you can't do it alone. You have to partner with the city and other stakeholders, and it's been a gratifying process, and we're still working on it and probably will be for the next 25, 30, 50 years. Mm-hmm. And after that, becoming very outspoken about property rights, minority representation, people started to talk to me about the possibility of running for elected office. I had worked in several campaigns in Ohio and around the fringes here in Fort Wayne, but never thought about holding public office myself. Timing is everything. I found that I was someone who had the qualifications to run and the energy to run, so I did, and here I am. And in the process of completing my first 4 years on Allen County Council, and it's been a tremendous learning experience. Anyone who is interested in participating in local government, I would say that Allen County Council is an excellent place to start. It gives you a great understanding of the county as a whole. My district, as you already know, the first district is Wayne Township, just about all of the southeast, and this includes Yoder, the communities of Yoder and Hoagland, Poe and Hoagland, and the cities of Monroeville and New Haven, and that's a very diverse community.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What are some of the accomplishments or things that you feel proud of as with your service on the council?
I am very proud that this council, for the past 4 years, we have been a very frugal council. We've done a lot of belt tightening. We have held various departments and divisions responsible and accountable for the spending of property tax dollars. We've maximized, we feel, property tax dollars, and also encouraged the sharing of resources. We have discouraged the duplication of services. We have worked towards interlocal agreements with the city in terms of the sharing of resources. When I got into politics, I was very outspoken locally in terms of consolidated government for a number of reasons, which we really don't have to get into. But I do believe in the consolidation of services. We have to look at ways of widening our resources by working with the city. And in order to do this, we're going to have to work towards interlocal agreements. Right now, as you know, that the county and the city, the planning services, and that's working very well. Communication services are 911, and we're also looking at combining the human resources departments for the city and the county. This maximizes property tax dollars, saves resources, and it's a better way of working towards providing services and needs for the local community. Mm-hmm. When I first came on council too, the tax abatement policy, which is very important. Economic development is one of my chief concerns. It has to be. We have to find a way to attract new companies, give the existing companies the resources and the support that they need to encourage them to expand. We have to provide jobs for our people. And we have worked to clarify that tax abatement policy to make it easier for us to make decisions and to, first of all, cut the red tape, make it easier to make the process shorter. The idea is to get people involved so they can provide additional jobs for folks in Allen County. So we have worked to clarify and to strengthen our tax abatement policy. We also found money from a very tight budget to engage in land banking, which will also ensure that we have shovel-ready sites ready for business development and expansion throughout Allen County. And of course, my focus is on the southeast. I'm also very proud that Maple Crest is moving ahead. Maple Crest is something that I knew about when I came on Allen County Council because I served on Planet Allen, on the steering committee for Planet Allen, in which we really engaged in putting together a plan, the first plan in almost, I believe, 30 years, a combined plan for Fort Wayne and Allen County. And of course, that plan was about community development. And Maple Crest was a key part of that. As you know, the southeast part, that has been an area that has been largely ignored when it comes to economic development. So it made sense in terms of completing Maple Crest because it was a part of the original transportation piece also. It had been languishing on a shelf for several years. So I'm glad that that project is moving ahead, and we're already seeing a renewed interest in business development along that corridor. So I'm very proud of that as well. Economic development has been my chief concern. Mm-hmm. And you do that by maximizing tax dollars, and you work through the organizations who really have the expertise in doing that. And I'm talking about the Business Alliance now and the Northeast Indiana Regional Partnership and so on. We're not the people to do that kind of work, but we can support the work that they're doing and also work with the Allen County Commissioners in doing so.
Mm-hmm. And that is important because I think a lot of people look at county council and think, well, they have the fiscal responsibility. There's not a lot they can do. But in talking with you, it sounds like there are some things that you can do.
There are some things
and
that
be
we're
involved.
doing. I've been, since I've been on Allen County Council, I've seen an effort on the part of council to work with the Allen County Commissioners. They have a legislative piece. we have the fiscal piece, but there has to be a meeting of the minds. We have to work together in a partnership to ensure that things work the way they should. And I have seen an effort on the part of both entities to do that, and it has been gratifying, yes. Of course, we can always do more, but I've seen a healthy start since I've been on council.
Sure. Let's talk a little bit about open government. What are your feelings about open government transparency?
As much transparency as possible. We try to conduct our business right there at that business table, and that means airing your disagreements as well as your agreements. People have a right to know what's going on in their government. I'm against deals being made behind closed doors. Part of the reason that I got involved in politics is that I thought that local government would be a lot healthier if it was more diverse. And I mean across the board in terms of ethnicity as well as sex, what have you. We need to have people who come from different parts of the community. If you look at city government, if you look at city council, county council, you see a lot of business leaders. And the business part is very important. But that's not the whole picture. I think it's also good to have people with a diversity in terms of background to bring their experiences, and you learn from whatever you do in life. And there are people who contribute in many ways across this community, and they're not necessarily business owners, but they're the people who have been engaged in grassroots operation and the continuation of services and the improvement of services that enhance the quality of life of people who live here. So I'm looking for a variety of people. I just think it makes for a better working situation to bring different levels of understanding and different perspectives to every part of local government, including Allen County Council.
One of the pitfalls to that, at least in my observation in some of the meetings that I've attended at both city and county level, has been that at times it's difficult because when you don't have the closed door meetings and you're meeting in public, it can really appear like everybody is just, at each other's throats and disagreeing. And how does that make the job a little harder or easier?
Well, I think that's just a part of it. I think if you do have disagreements, if you disagree with one of your comrades on city council or county council, then you have the responsibility of explaining why you are against something instead of just, well, I'm against that. There's some people who are automatically against everything. It may seem to the viewing public or the people who attend these meetings that we're so busy fighting and what have you, and I don't think that's been the case on Allen County Council. There are disagreements, there are different philosophies, and I think that's the way it should be. But I really don't think that gets in the way, not as much as it does perhaps in national politics, at the state level and certainly at the federal level.